what they're doing is they're taking from future generations to pay for today's generations. They're just kicking the can down the hallway like they always do. Hey, this one right here, this Ken Morgan experience, this is about student loans. I told you I was gonna get your finances together, right? This is about student loans, the theories and everything that's in the mythologies and everything that's in the student loan thing, because me, myself, I have student loans, so I'm paying stuff back. So a lot of y'all are on that same train, in that same boat. So hey, sit back. I have some opinions. Come with me, baby. From what I was reading about the student loan things, we're supposed to be forgiven $20,000 if you have federal student loans, if you have government loans or whatnot. That's a double-edged sword because there's people who have already paid their loans off, there's people who are paying their loans off, and there's people who don't want to pay their loans off. You know what I'm saying? So the people who don't want to pay their loans, this is paying for them. The people who are trying to pay their loans off, it's like, hey, cool, I appreciate it. And then there's the ones who already paid their loans. I was like, well, what the hell? Like, do I get $20,000 back, for me? I don't know. That's how it's supposed to be stored. But me, I was paying back my loans. When I heard this, I was like, oh, snap, thanks, because I have been religiously paying. I haven't paid since the pandemic, put a stop to it. So, I should have been paying, because there's no interest. But when the pandemic came, a lot of my jobs dried up. I used to have 5 straight jobs. Yes, 5 jobs. I was working 5 different jobs a week, so all that dried up. So when it comes to student loans, I think it's cool as long as it's used right. A lot of people are going to have their opinions. One of the opinions I do not like is when they said that the student loans are race-based and Black people are disproportionately with the student loans, and because they can't pay their student loans back, economic wealth and generational wealth and stuff like that. You know what? Paying back student loans is cool, but it's not going to change the fact that, a foundation of Black Americans are a marginalized society. You got to break white supremacy to break what's going on with Black people. We are still here. And it's not like Black people are getting it specifically. Foundation of Black Americans aren't getting it specifically. It's just like, we're going to forgive all of Black people's student loans and at the exclusion of everybody else. Then we can start talking about, okay then. All right, well, that's interesting. But the great Kamala Harris told us in those speeches before she was vice president, I'm not going to do anything just for Black people. No. There's a famous video, I wish we could look it up, have it right here, where the sister was like, hey, you gave in stuff to the LGBTQ ampersand people, you gave in stuff to the people on the border, but now, what about Black people?
Do you support reparations for Black people?
Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit Black people. No.
I was like, damn, but at least she was real about it. So it's not going to rectify anything when everybody's getting everything. Because if you notice, anytime Black people are supposed to get something, everybody else gets something. Everybody attaches to our struggle. Everybody's attaching to our causes because that's how you get papered up. You sit there and be like, because if you ever see, it's not just Black, it's Black and Brown coalition. It's not just Black, it's Black and LGBTQ, blah, blah, blah. Yes, we have to get double. Yes, we have to do more. Yes, we have to 1st and 15. I get it, but that little piece of isn't going to help us because everybody else is getting the same thing. Yes, there is a margin of accountability. There's a margin of hey, white supremacy ain't new, but it has nothing to do with student loans. Everybody want to do this lift all boat thing, we paying $20,000 student loans back to everybody. So if Black people are here and everybody else is here, it's just that's all it's gonna do. It's still gonna be the same place, just a little higher, a little bit more expensive, especially with inflation and stuff going on. No, it's cool for some people, it's not cool for other people. And where's the money coming from? It's just like I was telling my homie, I was like, what they're doing is they're taking from future generations to pay for today's generations. That is what they're doing. They're just kicking the can down the hallway like they always do. Instead of dealing with everything now, making the sacrifice you make now. A lot of people are not going to like the sacrifice you have to make so that tomorrow your children, your next generation can have a better life, better than what you had. They want everything now. So that's why we're getting student loan thing. That's why all this money is being thrown around. Notice how you can get anything now. You can get loans, you can get shark loans, you can freaking get even free money on GTA Online now. They're just throwing money away. You know what I mean? They're just throwing it all away. When it comes to student loans, for my purposes, for me, I think it's cool because I have been paying. I can't say I never went into default, but I got myself out of default. And I've been paying religiously for the past 5-7 years, so, and that's my opinion. That is my opinion on it. You know, a lot of people, I know a young lady, hers got forgiven because she's a civil servant. So she had something like that. Her stuff was forgiven. And that's pretty cool because she works hard. She should get forgiven, you know. And then there's people that's going to be mad because, hey, I paid off mine, but now these people are getting a $20,000 handout, you know, and that's not cool, you know. And from that side, it isn't cool. You know, they should get a couple dollars back, you know. It's like, oh, you paid all yours off. Boom, here's a couple stacks, I believe, just so that you can, because they're going to be people mad at everything. There's people mad at everything. Anything you can be mad at, they're going to be mad at. So I give them ammunition. This is an interesting one. You have Elizabeth Warren versus an irate gentleman who paid for his kids' college education. This is a little bit older, but is a whole lot relevance in what's going on today with the Biden administration about forgiving 10, 20K student debt.
I just want to ask one question. My daughter's getting out of school. I've saved all my money. She doesn't have any student loans. Am I going to get my money back? Of course not. So you're going to pay for people who didn't save any money, and those of us that did the right thing get screwed.
No, it's not anybody got screwed.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. We did the right thing, and we get screwed.
Don't we all love Fox News? When it comes to that, you know, my man has a right to be angry. You know, he was like, I did the right thing, you know. I saved for my kids, John. I worked overtime. He has every right to be mad, you know. I don't know how old that video was, but it's relevant to today, you know, because there's going to be a lot of fathers that feel that way. You know, hey, I saved all this for my child's at 80, 90, 100 grand. Aside from everything that I could have used that for my family, he has a right to be mad. You know, and Elizabeth Warren, she's sitting there like, You ever notice when you get them with their own stuff and talk to them, they're always like, You know, he has an absolute right to be mad, and he should get at least some of that bread back, I believe. When it comes to government handouts or subsidies or whatever you say, you know, I don't believe government should be handing out money just all willy-nilly. I do not, you know. Fun fact, I am a Republican. Hey, how you doing? And I like a strict interpretation of the law, and I don't like open borders. I don't like just free handout money, you know. Now, though I am a Republican, I do understand that there are certain things that need to be done to make things right. And I'm a staunch advocate on reparations for foundational Black Americans, you know, because there's a debt that's supposed to be paid to people of foundational Black Americans who have lived in this country and built everything you see. But yes, that student loan thing is a handout. I believe that you should be paying your debt. If you applied for the loans, you pay it back. You apply for the loans, you pay it back. You know, it's like buying a house during the credit collapse. During the housing collapse in 08, 09. You sat there and you went too far over your budget. You know, when you can only afford 150 and you were getting 300 K Jones, yeah, you should be able to pay that back. But then the government TARP came in and helped you with all that and everything. And did you learn anything? No. And now we have a ramp up today. So yeah, man, what about the next slew of people that come in with debt, student loan debt? Are you going to help them out too? Because people aren't going to stop going to college just because now, you know, stuff is being forgiven this time. So what about the next generation that comes through? What about the next generation that comes through? Nah, man. You know, I don't believe that you should be handing out money like this, because it creates a bad precedence. It does. It creates a bad precedence, and you don't want to put that out there like that, you know. Hey, thanks for watching all those videos and whatnot. You know, I hope you enjoyed. Do me a big favor. Like, comment, subscribe. Definitely drop a comment in the bottom. I'm getting back to it. I'm getting back to y'all, all right? Ken Morgan Experience, thanks for coming in. One.